Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault. And you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case.
Is that correct?
Dati mihi Anglican, Maureen, Service Latino. I didn't ask you to interrupt me. From saying.
Good morning. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. I'm not a cat. I'm not asleep anymore. I'm going to give it my all this morning, but you know that little bug that's been going around? Yeah, this weekend it hit me. And sore throat, sore back, massive headache, all that fun stuff. So, luckily it didn't hit till after I went to the Nutcracker, the ballet, which I guess I'll have words on that. That was a lot of fun. Oh, okay. Welcome, everyone. Please come in, sit down. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday. I'm feeling a little bit better, but I've got like a stash of cough drops. And ibuprofen at the ready. So, oh, yeah. Good morning. And, of course, I'm too tall again. How did I mess that up? How did I mess up how to become too tall? Shrink here one. Let's just give me some headroom. There we go. That'll work. Let's see. I looked on our Recovery Addict page, YouTube page. Don't see them, only old ones. What did you look for? What are you looking for?
Happy birthday. You look good.
Judge Fleischer, thank you. A little bit of tech issues. I actually, we had taken this... we had taken this TV up into up to upstairs because believe it or not, we don't have TVs all over the house. Pretty much all the TVs in the house are right here in this room, and we wanted to watch a fun movie that in an office that had some room to sit down, or in a room that had some room to sit down. So we took that one up there, and had to bring it down and reconnect everything, and it was not working initially. So we're back. We got it going. What is this trial, please? Oh my goodness, this trial is another one of those trials. Is like, really? You didn't plea out? Trial. It's one of those. Joseph Ferlazzo. It's terrible audio. We're a little bit late starting, so we're going to start at 1.25 speed, but that's okay because we're still watching the endless body cam. Oh my goodness, endless body cam. We'll speed this up at 1.25 speed to get through it. The interrogation going on. Before we do that, though, we are going to sing happy birthday to those people who need to be celebrated. Let me see if I can catch up on the chat here. Sharon was diligent asking for birthday messages. Quite diligent. So if you didn't get on the list, whose fault would that be? I'm just saying. Just saying. All right. Let's see. Do we have a list today? I wish I get my husband to go. Debbie, I hadn't frequently attended something like this. And I will tell you, the costumes were incredible. The talent of the ballerinas, one of which was the daughter of a friend of ours, incredible. Even from the wee little ones all the way up to the pros they brought in to fill some of the major roles in it. Just absolutely incredible. The strength, the poise. I mean, I'm not like a ballet instructor, but there was not one single thing that I could see was a mistake anywhere. And it had a huge cast. I mean, there's like 200 people involved, all the way down from like 3 or 4 year olds up, playing little mouse dancing candies. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. I will say the storyline is a bit of an acid trip. It's a bit of a wild one. It has its Dumbo moments as far as just like, whoa, this is, if you follow the story. But here we go. We've got a few people to celebrate. Thank you very much, Sharon, for putting this together for us. Haley's Comet.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
Is it really? Is it Haley's? Is it like the real Haley's Comet, or is it Haley's Comet in chat? Haley's Comet. Cindy, Carol, Dave, Ellie, Rocky, Snacks, Shark. I can never get this. Shark Snack, Gulf Coast, and Lisa, all having birthdays or being celebrated today. Chat is not on screen. I'll put it on screen for you now because I fixed that. Bing. And I have to give away. Give away the internet to Greeners as well. So just 1 second. But first of all, we'll sing happy birthday. Broken Baker, MD Recovery Addict at gmail.com is my email. But I'll see if I can reach out to him. I know he's the burner phone does not work for him very well. Let's see. All right, we're gonna sing happy birthday. Everyone stand up. I need you guys to really carry the load here, because although my voice doesn't sound different, it feels different. I'm going to do what I can here, but stand up. Deep breath. Project your voice to the back of the room. Blend your voice with your neighbors. Warm up with me, if you will. La 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 la. That'll work. All right, we're going to sing to Haley's Comet, Cindy, Carol, Dave, Ellie, Rocky, and Shark Snack Gulf Coast. I love that most of it's alphabetized almost. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Haley's Comet, Cindy, Carol, Dave, Ellie, Rocky, and Shark Snack Gulf Coast. Happy birthday to you. Oh no, I couldn't get Lisa in there. She gets her own verse. Lisa, you get your own verse. Because my monitor was in the way. I can't see that corner. Here we go, Lisa. This is for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lisa. Happy birthday to you. To all the wonderful people who are celebrating their birthday, happy birthday. We've got Haley's Comet, Cindy, Carol, Dave, Ellie, Rocky, Shark Snack, Gulf Coast, and Lisa. Of all the days, this is your special day. Hopefully we can make it more specialer by singing to you and celebrating. Help yourself to free pancakes at Denny's, Waffle House, IHOP, Village Inn, McDonald's, Tammy Dunlop's house. Anywhere there are pancakes, they're pretty much free. I went into my kitchen, there were pancakes on the platter, steaming. I just grabbed some, didn't pay a penny. So I celebrated for you on that front. Happy birthday. Thanks, son, to make them as well. It's the not-for-adoption son that made the pancakes this morning. Great work, dancers. Thank you all. Appreciate all of you helping kick off the day in style. To those who are celebrating, and to those who are celebrating. I realize there are a million places you could be, a million people you could be with. You've chosen to be here with us. The privilege and pleasure is all ours. Okay. Oh, well. Yes. The dancers are amazing today. Have you ever tried to stand on your tippy toes like the ballerinas do? I don't know what they have in their shoes that makes that possible, but wow. I can't be on tippy toes for a second, let alone 2 minutes. Big drum solo, here we go. Big finish. Beautiful. Somebody spaced my air drums further apart this morning. It was a bit of a reach, but I got them. Thank you very much. We are late getting back to court, so we're going to go a little faster. And my brain has not woken up yet. I'm trying to remember what happened here. This is the van life murder trial, right? So Joseph Ferlazzo is accused of shooting and killing his wife of 1 year. They were celebrating their 1 year anniversary. Shooting and killing his wife of 1 year. They believe it happened basically in the parking lot outside his little sister's Airbnb. It's more like van death. Yeah, sadly. I have several milestone chats to get to, and I have to also do this one. Sorry. Greeners, congratulations. First in chat, gentlemen, my good friend, Greeners, the internet is all yours. Congratulations. I don't know why I was going to say, gentlemen, start your engines. It's one of those mornings. I guess, gentlemen, start your engines. Here we go. Ready, we're going to go. Somebody put that in chat, and I just read it because I'm like the guy on Anchorman. If I see it, I will say it without thinking about it. Anyway, Congratulations, Greeners. Keep the internet running. Wrong sport. Yes, I know that. Cheryl C., congratulations. Best year on YouTube. Thanks, Ari, for a wonderful year. Chat is super, too. Cheryl C., thank you very much. Congratulations on the year mark. Orange looks good on you. Britta Aller, member for 19 months, says, oh my, where is time gone? Wonderful group to hang out with and watch true crime. Great mods, great chat, RA and family. Thank you so much. Denise, Feldman Ersland, member for 23 months. Wow. So close to that new courthouse color. You are one of the closest to the courthouse color. Best 2 years ever. Let's just hope my Google history has never been questioned or looked at. We'll have to do like a group watch party where we teach you all how to wipe your history and clear it. Kim R., member for 18 months, says, wow, 18 months. Where's the time gone since Letitia? So glad to be here with y'all. Don't get that to chat much lately. Miss you all. Kim, thank you. We do miss you in chat as well, but glad you could be here with us. Tammy E., member for 3 months. Love feeling safe in the chat and lack of judgment. Thank you, Tammy. Love that you found us and that you are now one of us and you can never leave. Breezy, member for 20 months. Oh, shoot, I'm almost an adult on this channel. Yes, you're about to be held accountable for your actions. So this is your last month of relative freedom. Congratulations to those who reached milestones. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to pick up sort of like, I guess you could say where we left off. But we are back. If you remember, we left off mid-interrogation video, and this video has been weird. He's like, we got the whole belly button lint thing and like, I'm too sexy for my shirt. We've had all those moments in this, and in addition to extremely calm recounting of how he killed and then dismembered her body and how many bags he put it in and his plan. And then when he's not explaining things, he's like an emotional breakdown, hyperventilating, and it's been a little bit bizarre, and it's not done. It's still going. So Melissa P., so glad to be back in green. Melissa, thank you very much. Love all of you so much. Thank you for all the prayers for our family. Thank you, and to Matthew as well. Nurse for God, member for 19 months. Wow, love you all. Nurse for God, thank you as well. Wonderful friend of the program, longtime supporter as well. And Barbara Farthing, member for 17 months. Do you think I should start this trial at the beginning? It's only one day. I wish the audio were better than it was, but you could catch up. Or, just not sleep and just watch this one and then watch the previous one. But let me just say it's a lot of evidence here. It's a lot of evidence. The defense is saying he did it in self-defense. Okay? So you know that it looks bad already because they're admitting that he did, in fact, shoot her. And that was, we believe, the cause of death. We haven't had the ME yet, but she was shot twice in the head. The problem is there was like 19 stab wounds after that, plus dismembering and hiding the body. That part looks less like self-defense, which we'll have to get some sort of explanation for. I don't know if Corey Richens, I don't think anything huge developed there. I think the big thing that happened last week was that Lori Vallow went pro se, and the judge said yes. Oh my goodness, that's going to be a nightmare now. That's going to be a nightmare. All right. Let's go ahead and return to court and see if we can pick up this morning. We're at 1.25 speed. Everyone in your places, looking good. Waiting for audio. There's our defendant right there on the end, sort of in a white shirt with the man bun is worn low like a ponytail. Let's give it a minute to get started. I think we're waiting for the jury. How far behind? Less than an hour. We'll be caught up before lunch.
Ms. Jantz, would you like Detective Oris sworn in again, given the weekend?
No, that's fine.
I'll just remind him.
This trial is being held in a wind tunnel.
Starting where we left off with the interview.
Maybe a minute back, okay. But yes.
So we'll have a minute of rewatch on the video, but that's pretty much where we start today. Jury's here. We're about an hour behind. A little less than an hour, but we're on high speed, so we're going to catch up, and we'll fast forward through the breaks. We'll be caught up in no time.
Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. I hope you each had a good weekend. I'll start with my usual questions. First of all 16 members of the jury are present and accounted
16.
for. Did any of you learn anything about this case over the weekend? Any of you discussed this matter with any other individual over the weekend? Did you read any news accounts of the events? Again, on all three of those questions, I'm seeing 16 shakes of the head no. Is there any reason that any one of you cannot continue to be fair and impartial, maintain an open mind, and only decide this case once all of the evidence is in? Again, seeing shakes. If anyone feels that they can't, please raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, we'll continue with the trial. Detective Oris is still on the stand. I'll remind him he's still under oath.
Yes, sir.
And we'll continue with the state's case. Ms. George.
Thank you, Judge.
Let's lower the lights.
Get some mood lighting. The detective on the stand is the one that was doing the interrogation here, and so he's a witness that's authenticating this video, and it's all coming in. work on the audio. It's going to be left here only for just a minute.
Airbnb on Saturday morning after the incident with Emily occurred. Yes. Okay. So 9 to 11, you hang out with your sister on the bus. Was her boyfriend on the bus as well? What's his name? Jerry. There you go. Okay. And what happens around 11 on Friday night? So they leave, they go inside you, they went inside. So when does the argument start? So earlier it was just going inside. They were trying to go on TV. I just want to clarify, because earlier you said it basically started when you arrived. So were you guys kind of arguing all night, even with your sister around?
No, like I said, when Nikki and Ariel pulled up, I was like, hey, what's up? Then Em went quiet. She said hi to them. And then, I don't know, we like sat in there and caught up for, it seemed like an hour or a half or so. Like, so she was just sitting up there quietly, like, and then they're like, come inside and watch Netflix. And I was like, cool, let me see what she wants to do. They're like, okay, we'll do it. And then I was like, what are you trying to do? She said, I don't feel good. I don't want to go in. Maybe we should go in. Let's go in. No, I don't want to go in. Fuck those people. Like, fuck this place. Fuck you. Yeah.
So they're just, so your sister and Ariel's kind of going in for the night, and kind of the decision for you and Emily to go in or not to go in, was that the starting point of like, they argued like, of Emily kind of cursing at you kind of that night?
No, that was like, I told you as soon as I turned the car, like, okay, whatever this is right here.
Yeah, so it was all night.
Yeah, like as soon as I turned around, like, hey, you good? And then she was not good.
And then, so from, roughly 11 o'clock when they go inside, how long, what time period goes by? How long before you shoot Emily?
A few hours.
You're not sure?
I was drinking.
Okay.
So,
tell me about that.
Vodka.
Yeah.
Was drinking vodka.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how?
I drank wine too.
Okay.
Spirit wine.
How much vodka had you had?
Maybe like 3 to 6 shots.
Okay. Was Emily drinking?
She drank. She was drinking. So am I drank. Yeah, she drank some of my drink. I don't think she let her up.
Was that like a mixed drink or?
It was like vodka Red Bull.
Vodka Red Bull? Okay.
And then I started drinking some wine. It was Cabernet Sauvignon. Like a couple glasses of that.
What kind of wine was it? I'm sorry.
Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay. Cabernet. Yep. Yeah.
Any drugs or anything?
I smoked pot.
Anything else?
No.
How about Emily? Did she smoke?
She might have had like one, but she doesn't smoke very much. She'll have like, maybe in a day she might have like 2 to 3 puffs, like around there. So not much. But I mean like a single puff, like just like lighted puff, done. Inhale, exhale, that's it.
So one of the questions that I think is important to ask is, when earlier we talked about the incident where, Emily's kind of, you guys are arguing, you described her hitting you multiple times, and then she goes lay down on the bed and said, you estimated, initially you said 10 to 15, but then you changed it like 5 to 10 minutes had passed before you retrieved the Glock out of the cabinet and shoot her. I think it's important to ask, and I think Emily's family and a lot of people will wonder, like, why didn't you just leave the bus? If she's laying down, the physical altercation of her hitting is done, how come you didn't just leave?
Something in my mind told me that it wasn't going to stop until I stopped it. First decision ever.
Would you understand if people said, well, it had stopped?
Oh, I don't mean like that particular thing. I meant like it's been escalating, and like I didn't see like it.
What describe Emily's met? I never met her, obviously. Is she tall, short?
She's like 5'1", 130 pounds.
5'1", 130 pounds. to step out for a minute? Do you need more coffee or water or anything?
No, I have both.
Both give you some bathroom?
No.
Okay. I think those are your chips.
No, you can't use them. I don't like chips.
Oh, you don't? Oh, no. Starches. You don't need any starch?
Just like empty your stomach, or you just don't need it? No, it's, I mean, if I was going to go back to vaping if I needed it, but I'm sitting here, not doing anything. Like,
okay. Do you have any?
I have questions.
Okay, what are your questions?
Like, what happens now? Like, I'm going to be processed and taken to a place. Is there going to be someone I can talk to? Like,
Yeah, so where we go from here is ultimately not our decision. We have bosses that we answer to.
I just have to typically, like, you just walk me in.
Yeah, so we're going to continue to conduct the investigation. Obviously, we've been talking to you now for an hour and a half, so there's some other detectives that are looking into things and trying to piece what happened together, so we'll probably go and chat with them and try to understand the best way we can what happened, and then maybe go back and help with. Well, I think that's something that we need to do is kind of go touch base with them and see if there's anything we want to clarify.
The only other thing that I can think of you may be able to help us out with, it's totally up to you, is a lot of times when we're processing this stuff, we like to get everybody's DNA that's involved, so we can ask you for just a bugle spot, like a cotton swab, yeah, just that's it, we can actually maybe go knock that out if you're up for that. Thank you very much. Yeah.
And I would like to do, at the same time, do photos just to document if you do have any injuries, if that's something you're comfortable with. Is that fair? Yeah. All right, we'll step out. If you need anything, you want to just let us know. And
Actually, not cold now. Okay. Yeah, it's not probably water. Yeah, that's not bad.
Okay, while they step out, he's going to get his hoodie back on. We're going to make a quick change here and skip forward past some of this. Just 1 second here. And back up right here. When the two detectives get out, another detective comes in, and that's where we are.
So how does it work? Like, do you guys all work with the same people, or like, is this like their case, like James and Seth?
I work with James and Seth.
Oh, so you're also, so it's all like one team?
Yeah, we work as a team. We go around the state. So we all work at different barracks. When something happens like this, so there's a mission person or death investigation, we work together. So we work with several other detectives and troopers from around the state, wherever we have to be working.
So he completely spilled the beans on this.
A lot of moving parts.
Told the whole story, not a single hint of self-defense, anything. In fact, he says she was asleep for 10 or 15 minutes. And then he came back in and figured out she's going to keep doing this sort of thing if I don't kill her. And he did.
Yeah, I wanted to go back and I was going to try to get back and say goodbye to her. But
So it's something we'll probably have to give a shout out to Jason and just kind of figure out what you want to do with it.
yeah.
They were okay today keeping her.
Let me see if I can get the closed caption on again.
We'll have to decide what you want to do with her.
I mean,
I don't know if they're in a
We
position
have
to
no
take
closed
her.
I don't know if they are. I mean, there's lots of people around. She can have company.
Yeah, I can certainly check with them.
Yeah, that's one of the things that was super helpful. That was on my mind.
Says I wish I could go back and say goodbye to her. They argued.
Good one decision. 3 seconds of my life. I couldn't even, like hearing James say, like, why don't you just like leave?
Right? Enjoy. Thank you.
Saying that those 30 seconds has ruined his life now.
So what kind of dog is she? Rescue. Think she's got a little
Maybe. She's not gonna get bigger.
No, she's perfect size.
Yeah.
I wish he could say goodbye to his dog.
She's a perfect dog, but she literally doesn't, I mean, you saw her.
Yeah.
Like, aside from like a little bit of barking, when she first went to meet somebody new and like a little bit of jumping, I think she was excited for some love. But
Probably she.
she's gonna be 2 in a couple weeks in the whole week.
You did hear from Hunter.
I'm sure it is.
Apparently those are the only 2 cups you got in Paris, so leave them just out and get you a hotter one.
Thank you. Does anybody smoke cigarettes?
I'd have to check. I try to.
Could you find a cigarette?
You try.
Is that something that
Yeah, I can try.
like they're not allowed to have a cigarette?
Yeah, I'll see what I just have to walk outside. You can't smoke in here, so
Okay.
yeah, I can do that. If I can find one, I can promise. Do you have any? Yeah, can we get some? Perfect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just wait and see what Jason has left to say. If there's any follow-up questions, we're done with that.
Yeah, they want to talk with the other
Our bosses
the
probably.
other detectives.
Yeah.
Just kind of see what questions everyone has so they
Yeah,
can.
so we're done with that. We'll bring some. Very much cigarettes.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'll take you out.
You need a smoke?
Yes.
See if I can find some.
Yeah, one of the guys is cigarettes, so maybe you and I can take them out.
I wish somebody would take me in. No. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me.
We have a clinician we can talk to. That's the best. I respect this one, Joe. Thank you very much. I'll just go for another.
You say you've been doing this for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
24? So you said.
Yeah. So do me a favor though, if you have,
What's your favorite?
if you have thoughts of hurting yourself, just let us know.
If I had a gun, I'd do it.
I want you to, it's important for you to reach out to somebody, like, let one of us know if you're feeling that way we can, we'll get somebody here to talk to you. Alright?
I mean, I can't hurt myself.
We're not going to hurt yourself.
I can't hurt myself. I'm going to bust her home from this hot call. No. I got nothing, but.
Still up.
Yeah, honestly, that's where I was headed. Maybe you didn't pick me up. You ever had a suey on your hands today?
Did you have a plan?
Yeah, I was gonna play it myself. Clearly the person I think I am is the person that I am. So now they're not the same anymore, and I feel like I'm just like a fucking passenger, man. Like my head spins, it's just images flashing. I got nothing. I can't use my mind. Like it just. I don't know. I never felt this way my whole life.
Probably
I've never been more tempted to use a song that will demonetize me intentionally than I am right now.
So past this part, how much do you know about like the next part?
Like in general, or?
Yeah.
So every case is a little bit different. You know, first of all, the other detectives are going to make sure that what you're saying is true.
Yes, you're right.
I have to that's first and foremost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to verify some stuff, and then, you know.
Cigarettes on?
Yeah.
You want one? That's what I heard. We'll walk out with you. Okay. Thanks, Dan.
Right said Fred. Right said Fred. It's coming up. Right said Fred sings a song called I'm Too Sexy.
Is that your blanket, or did somebody gave us a blanket? Yeah, I love it. It's chilly down. Yeah.
Because apparently later on here in a minute as we catch up, and let me just see if I can skip ahead just a tiny bit so we don't have to wait while he's out on a cigarette break. They did allow him to go out for a cigarette break right here. So there we go. Quick cigarette break. Apparently the documenting injuries happens right here in front of the camera.
So this is just a consent form. I'm gonna fill it out here.
They just let him go outside and smoke a cigarette. They went with him.
You guys don't have like some kind of pad, like a digital. I wish. Right.
While I'm writing this about the future, something that's kind of come to mind, and again, I haven't been on the bus, but, you know, everything that you're telling us, I imagine was extremely messy, and there had to be blood everywhere.
A little bit.
I mean, to cut arms and legs and a head, that's got to be pools of blood, right?
No. Not pools of blood. Maybe pools of like, maybe like some like spilled Gatorade.
Like a full Gatorade?
Maybe like a full, I don't know, like a faint ounce or something.
Well, how soon after shooting Emily did you cut her up?
15 hours or something like that.
So 12 to 15 hours after?
15 hours after she was dead.
Did you have to clean up any like mess from doing that?
It was a little messy, so I had to clean it up.
Tell me about cleaning it up.
I just wiped it up and put the whips in bags and put it in bags. The sprays and
So I need to take it quite a here long way. So we talked about we essentially shot her in the vent. I think we said that was roughly 1 o'clock in the morning, somewhere in there. So it was 12. How many hours after?
12 to 15 hours.
So we're talking. So that's Saturday. So we're talking 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. Like.
Well,
it's midnight to noon is 12 hours, and another 3 hours would be 3 on Saturday, 3 p.m. on Saturday. So is that accurate? I don't want to work to complain.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And where was that? Was that at the parking lot?
No, that was at it wasn't at Bowman's.
So where in St. Albans? I'm sorry.
With buses now at Bowman's. Yeah.
Okay, so we're all on the same page. So the cutting of Emily's body occurred inside the bus while it was parked at the Langs.
Correct.
And I might have missed it earlier too. So you were parked somewhere near the Airbnb. That's the impression I got.
Right.
Where exactly were you parked? There, I don't know. So there's a parking lot. So you were parked.
It's like a building.
Okay.
The condos and then parking lot.
Okay. Gotcha. So essentially she was complete, whole, and then you drove back to the lane, and that's where you or the bags in the shower. Okay.
And then, at any point during this incident with Emily, did you have help from anyone? No one helped you dispose of the body, no one helped you clean up, no one provided any tools? And other than Spencer, did you tell anyone else what happened?
The only person I told was Spencer, you guys.
Okay. All right. If you want to read this, I think what might be helpful, I just kind of found this when you said it was like, if I get an aerial shot of that building, you can just mark on the map like the area you were parked. Does that sound like it might be helpful? Might be helpful.
Would it be able to identify it on the aerial map?
If it helps you, like, okay, it says your name on it, if you want to read that, I can tell you, like.
So what this is we talked earlier about the Pickles law signature DNA for her to process the thing. So what this is you're giving us your consent for that to then code the photos. So what it is, I give my permission to detect the Seth Richardson to conduct a complete search of things listed below in their content for understand that you don't have to allow this, no threats or process of enforcement. So essentially we're looking for biological, we're looking for your DNA, and then other, and then just photos so we can document if you have any injuries. You have bruises that you might not be able to see next to the shelf with photos.
Okay. Yes.
So if you're in agreement with that, what I'll do is have you sign here, and then date and time it, and I'll witness it for you.
Yep. 21, what time?
It's 4:40.
4:40.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll witness this. So you do tattoos? Do you have a shop somewhere? Do you work with somebody?
I used to do tattooing in like tattoo shops, and I just kind of it's kind of freelance. Somebody will message me if they want something, and so the time we'll decide one, and then we'll get together and do it.
Did you do all our on yourself, or did you have other people look at it?
I finished this when the guy started it and walked away, and he left the fix it in there, so I just finished it while he was helping other people. But
you work around here?
I worked in Burlington for like 10 years, and I worked in Essex for a year.
Where do you work in Burlington?
About a year.
Okay. I got family crest.
You do?
Yep. So let's try to get something off another shoulder at some point. Just gotta find something. I want some shadowing. So in Southern Vermont, there's not, a lot of people don't do shadowing. You're doing a great job. So I just make sure to find the right person.
You gotta find somebody that can like actually see through. A lot of people, it takes hours and hours and hours and lots of focus for all of those hours.
Yeah.
You either have somebody that's gonna like do it right, or they're just doing it. You know what I mean? Like they're just doing it.
Right. Yeah.
I typically I try not to like pull images. I mean, with that impress, you can't really, it is what it is.
Well, I say that impressive is something that is, kind of unique, but it's hard to stone what it actually is. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, that sort of thing. You pull a reference and you do the thing.
Right.
But most times I try to just take. Yeah, I usually just try to take what they have to say and then make something original. So that way, I feel like that way you get the best experience,
Right. Yeah. I kind of get a kick out of even when play stand books with like clip art. What do you want this?
I don't like to do the same thing over and over and over. So you're gonna photograph it in here, or?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. One of our colleagues has an actual camera that takes a little pictures, iPhone 6 or whatever this is. I just want to wait for James before he gets too carried away. He's trying to print out a map, with an aerial map, so you can show us where you're parking.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool little, bus or RV. You convert it all yourself.
Yeah.
It's cool. Diesel or gas?
It's gas. Yeah, my plan was to we had a plan to work and save and then travel, go see, Yellowstone and the Canyon and Joshua Tree, Colorado. That was when we started, that was the plan. She just stopped working and stopped helping.
self-financing.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. It wasn't contributing to anything really.
Fine picture?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's gonna work. The picture is bad and the printer is not working. But another sergeant's gonna come in. She's on the crime scene team, so she just processes evidence.
Yeah, I told them, like,
perfect, take a picture. But when they're doing the pictures, I've tried to come up with a better picture, but the one I found wasn't that good, so I didn't want to show you. Yeah. So they should be introduced in a minute. Anything we haven't talked about? I know you guys were chatting there, but
we were just chatting about, he worked about 10 years at Body Art, relative to the tattoo artist up there, and then worked about a year in ethics. That was kind of a brief answer to him.
Something else that kind of comes to mind, having this open conversation that might as well ask is like, is this the first time that something like this has happened?
Yeah. It was like, it's awful.
Pretty intense.
It's fucking awful, dude. Like, I don't know if it was you or if it was Sam, but if you would have talked to me a week ago, it would have been on the top of the list of things that I would never do.
This would have been on the list of things I would never do.
It was such a fucking brutal week.
The opposite of a bucket list, I guess.
Like, nonstop. Like, it's like morning to night. I don't know what the hell happened. It's just like a complete change. Something, I don't know if I was talking to you, Sam, but like, maybe it was you when you said I need to sleep. I looked at my brain and was like, no, like, it's not gonna stop. Like, you have to stop her now. And the part of me was like, no, this is not the way. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, like, I just had this like wave come over me, and then that's it. It's not good.
All right. Well, why don't we go see where they're
Yeah, and they just put your name in there, Joseph, right?
D-R-L-A.
D-R-L-A.
Studio. 12-14-7.
Actually, I guess it did work in your phone number, but I think you have an address. What's your current address?
Current, I guess, I guess L the land.
Okay.
Well, I know it's gonna happen. So, at some point throughout the investigation, we're gonna probably take a look at your phone. Okay, so it'll be easier for us to access your phone if you have your passcode.
Yeah.
What is that?
012779.
Did you know where your phone is now?
It's in my Jeep.
In Jeep. Okay.
I think his phone passcode is his birthday.
Do you need anything else?
He just gave him the phone passcode. Phone's in the Jeep.
Maybe another pop of the city.
Yeah, we can do that.
What's that?
Yeah. We will give it to Amy. I'll be back to the call. Yeah. Joe, so this is Amy. Oh, okay. So Amy's gonna take your pictures, and she's also gonna do your beautiful swab. So this is
just swab of the inside of your mouth.
Just like that. Like you did.
Get ready to cue the music.
Are you good for a second?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Nicely full size for Robbie.
Oh, you're Robbie. Yeah, great. Great, I'll hold it. We're good.
All right. So what I'll have you do is just stand up, and then I'm just going to take a series of photos of you front, and then sides, and then back. And then let me just see your hands. I know it sounds like you showered and everything, right? Yeah. So I'll probably just take a picture of your hands. And then the buccal swabs are super easy. You just open your mouth. We take 2 swabs on one side, 2 swabs on the other. And then, yeah, I don't think we're going to need to swab your hands, but we'll take it from there. So I'll just have you stand against the wall.
Here?
Yeah.
Stands right in front of the camera.
Where'd you get those face?
Okay, smile. Smile, say cheese. Beautiful, beautiful. Give me another. Show me some sass. There we go. Now look back.
And then turn face the wall. Okay, and then turn face this wall over here. Yep.
Oh, look, there's a camera.
Okay, and now let me see. Hold out both your hands like this for me. And then flip them over for you.
Okay, he's not really bringing it to this photo shoot. You can tell his heart's not in it.
Alright, so we're going to label envelope and that with, we'll do right cheek first. Yeah. Just put an arm on there.
The lady doing the buccal swab, quite vigorous, but also doing it at arm's length.
And left. And then, tell me,
Wait, that comes later. We're getting to that part. Yeah, they've told him what's going to happen next. They pretty much have explained he's going to get arrested here. So, buccal swabs bagged and tagged.
Where'd you go? You just want to get another, I'm not sure. You just have all in.
Okay, so I'm not going to do swab period. All right, so I have not watched your interview, but my understanding is that there was some kind of physical altercation with you and Emily, and that you may have been struck, hit, kicked, something like that. Will you consent to me taking photographs of you without clothing on? And if you're not comfortable with it being me, I can have Robbie do it, to see if there's any bruising on you, or marks, or cuts, or anything like that.
I don't know.
Well, you don't have to be totally naked, no. I mean, we can get, like, I could do chest and maybe legs if you have underwear on. If you're willing to let me, as part of the consent, to do photographs of your...
She just asked for consent. He's already stripping. Oh, here it goes. I'm too sexy for my pants. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts. She was still literally asking consent, and he was just about naked.
I know I got hit here. I know I got hit here.
A lot of ink. I'd say a tribal style on the back.
You said in your side somewhere?
It's quite the artwork.
And then your neck? Where else again?
No, somewhere over here.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just do some photos. Hold on.
He's sucking it in.
It's hard to see with the tattoo. Yeah. So, I mean, there's one, but there's no tattoo up here, so. Yeah. Can you look in that box? And it's not in the box down in my camera bag. There's a small scale. So same kind of thing we'll just do around. Come a little bit closer to this.
Yeah, he's sucking it in. He's holding his breath. I'm seeing what, some Japanese or Chinese characters. It's definitely a mix of
Is there something there?
Well, almost like a little birthmark right in my hairline, so it's kind of hard to tell if it's a little mark or if it's a birthmark, but we'll just document it. Okay. All right, you're all set. Thank you. Okay.
This portion of the trial brought to you by Haynes.
I can probably pee.
You got it. All right.
Somebody take me to the body.
You got it. I will find somebody and have them come back for you.
Thank you. Feels so good.
Now he's cold. That was a bit chilly. It was a bit chilly taking it all off there. Bring back the security blanket and the hoodie. The doctor said you can't come by anymore. No more wellness checkups for you, Greeners.
Okay, cigarettes, do you want to have people
Get one more cigarette break. We're going to skip this part until he comes back. It's a quick one, but 3, 2, 1, right here.
Do you need anything from us right now?
Yeah. Great, thank you. Yeah, for everything.
As we said from the beginning, we're not here to judge you, we're just trying to figure out what happened. And I think we'll probably step out for now. If something changes, something comes to mind you think is important, and you want to talk to us, you need a drink, you need to go to the bathroom, whatever it is, just let us know. You comfortable right here for now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He just put a digital recorder on the table.
This stuff with me, just because of the money that's probably going to be in here. I know you're not eating the chips, but if you change your mind, I'm there, okay? Okay. All right.
Really nice chair back in the corner, but he sat on the crappy one. Not sure why. It's been pretty calm and collected during the second portion, day 2 portion. This all happened in one day. They talked for several hours. Defense now trying to say that this, they wanted to get this thrown out. They said it was involuntary. I'm not seeing where they got the involuntary from. He signed the waiver. He was read the Miranda rights. He volunteered. He turned over his passcode for his phone. He told them everything. Where, when, how. Explained in detail about cutting up the body, how he did it, how he divided it up, how he bagged it, where he did it, how he cleaned up. Why there was not much blood, because he waited about 15 hours after she was dead. I think the blood had coagulated. Is that what happens after you die? I don't know. I've never... I'm a hunter, but I've never been successful, so I don't know. I don't even have that experience to draw on. He did. He definitely stripped down voluntarily, twice. The stabbing wounds were post-mortem as well, so those don't bleed very much either. I think he just melted, like the Wicked Witch of the West. Yeah, but who hasn't had a little snooze in the interrogation room, you know? There we go. And that's how it ends, folks.
Detective Sergeant Oris, is it your understanding that for the next about 40 minutes of the interview, Mr. Ferlazzo is laying on the floor?
Yes.
Okay. Were there any other questions asked in this room that you recall?
I don't recall if he used the bathroom in that 40 minutes or not. And then after that 40 minutes, as he's leaving this room, we were bringing him to a secure holding cell. I think I asked a question about his boots, but it was nothing significant.
Okay, thank you.
Can we get the lights? Aziz, lights.
Okay. No, I'm going to use that. Yeah, thank you. And Detective Sergeant Forrest, while the video is playing, there's a time at the bottom, a running time. Is that the actual time of day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so when we just ended the video, it was approximately 5:07 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. During that entire interview with Mr. Ferlazzo, did he ever say that he was unable or unwilling to speak to you?
No.
Did he ever say that he felt forced to speak with you?
No.
And did you provide him with anything that he asked for?
Yes, we provided him with food, coffee, water, cigarettes, bathroom breaks,
more
a blanket.
And did he consume those things?
Some of those things, yes.
Not the chips, and not the bread for the sandwich.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as States 21. Are you familiar with this document?
12 deliberating jurors, 16. So 4 alternates are sitting and listening to this.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell the jury what it is?
It's a transcript of the recorded interview.
And does that include everything said in the interview room?
Yes, I believe so.
Does it also record the breaks?
I believe it records the breaks as well.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit States 21.
No objection. One is admitted without objection.
At some point, do you move Mr. Ferlazzo to a different space?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall approximately what time that was?
I believe it was about 40 minutes after the 40 minutes where he laid on the floor, just before 6 o'clock, I believe.
Okay. And where was that space?
So at the St. Albans Barracks, we were in the interview room. We moved him to a secure holding cell.
Okay. And did you speak with him while he was in the cell?
I did.
Okay. Multiple times or just once?
Multiple times.
Okay. During any of the cigarette breaks or times you went in to speak with him, did you ask him more questions about Emily?
There was one occasion where we asked questions about Emily. All the other occasions were to check on him, cigarette break, provide him food, that type of thing.
Okay. And the time that you did ask him more questions about Emily, do you recall when that was?
I believe it was shortly after 9 p.m.
Okay. And was this recorded?
Yes, it was.
In which way?
So the holding cell has a recording system. It's audio, video. So the audio wasn't captured for some reason on that system. So there's video. And then as a backup, we have a digital recorder that I had in my pocket because sometimes technology breaks. So the audio is captured on the digital recorder.
Okay. And when you went in to speak with him again, did you tell him that you had more questions for him?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And did you read him his Miranda warnings again?
I didn't reread them. I had the form, the Miranda waiver that he had previously signed. I showed it to him, and I explained all of his rights still apply. It was his choice if he wanted to talk, and we had more questions.
Okay. And what was his response to that?
I believe he said, "What are your questions?"
Okay. And how long did you speak with him?
It was about 20 minutes.
Great. And have you reviewed the recording that was in your pocket?
Yes, I have.
The state identified that as states 20. You reviewed that before your testimony today?
Yes, I have.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of the conversation?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And did we also provide you with a transcription of this conversation?
Yes.
Okay. And that's marked as states 22. Judge, the state would move to admit states 20 and 22.
No objection.
20 and 22 are admitted without objection.
Are there points during this audio that are hard to hear?
Yes.
Can you explain to the jury why that is?
So the handheld digital recorder that I use, I keep it in my pocket. So occasionally you can just hear like the rustling of my jacket.
Thank you.
Well, what have we learned about keeping the recorder microphone in your pocket now, officer? Investigator? Let's not do that in the future. Let's set it on a flat surface other than the one people pound with their hands.
2021, 92 p.m. Pizza. Yeah, it's okay. It's old after a while, you know. We had a few more things we were hoping to talk about. Is that something you're willing to do?
Some good ice cream. I love it.
We just wanted to clarify a few more things. Totally your choice. Or if you don't want to walk all the way down there, we could do it. We could do it in here. We prefer to just sit at that table, but whatever you're more comfortable with, again, it's your choice. You want us to just ask them in here? Okay. You said yeah. Okay. So I'm going to step in. Just before I ask the question, I just want to show you this form. We went over it earlier with all your rights. I just want you to know that this Miranda form that you signed earlier, that all these still apply. You know, so this is still in place. So at any point you want to talk to us, you just let us know, okay? Seth and I appreciate the conversation that we've had, the honesty that you've provided, and it's taken us some time to try to, you know, we like to do check and verify things, right? And so we appreciate the details that you told us earlier, help us understand what's going on. I guess my first question, before we get to some other specific ones, is there anything that has come to mind sitting in here that you want to share with us? Any details we haven't talked about yet?
Some child. When I'm pressed, kind of like pages.
So nothing's come up that you're like, oh, I should have told him this, or I wish I had told him that? Okay. All right. And
you have questions?
Yeah, I think we have a couple.
So we talked a little bit about it before, about the items that you take out, and then news, all the glasses and stuff, and I was hoping that you just, if you can remember anything more about the bag that you put that in.
was like a food shopping bag.
Do you remember what color it was or anything though? White, okay. And you talked about that you're pretty confident that you put that bag in a garbage can at the commercial gas station. Did you put that white bag in the other bag, or did you put the white bag in the garbage? You know what I mean? Did you put it in a black bag before you put it in the garbage or anything like that, or something like that?
Pretty sure it was just a white bag.
Okay. I appreciate that.
When you say food shopping bag, was it paper? Was it plastic? Plastic. Do you know where it was from?
The Shaw's and Merchandise.
Oh, right. I remember saying that. Did you buy something at Shaw's or the Market Basket that helped kind of recall like what bag it was?
It's just food bag.
But had you gotten it recently, or is it old?
Oh, I think I had like a lunch bowl.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then you told us earlier that you grabbed the Glock out of the closet and jumped on the bed. So I was hoping we could just talk briefly about when you jumped on. Did you jump on the bed or jumped on her correctly? How did that kind of play out?
Jumped on, jumped on the bed. I jumped on her, she was on the bed.
Okay. And you mentioned, when we talked before, you said that you don't believe she was sleeping because she was still kind of saying stuff under her breath to you. When you jumped on her, did she say anything to you?
Something like, are you fucking kidding me? Or you gotta be fucking kidding me?
And then, what was her reaction to you?
It was just like that. I just jumped on her and she said, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Something like that.
Did she try to fight you or anything like that? And how long did you have to take? Was it when you jumped on her and when you fired the first shot?
Second.
Okay. And how about the second shot? So I don't want to go words in your mouth or anything. I'm just trying to so essentially, correct me if I'm wrong, you jumped on her and bang bang. Like that. Is that how it happened?
And I think you shook your head no, but when Seth asked you if she tried to put up a fight, did you say yes or no?
There was none.
There was no fight? No. Okay.
Defense does not like this part of the recording. They're nervous about this.
The bags that you used, where did those bags come from?
The grocery store.
No, the garbage bags.
Grocery store.
Oh, so you got them at the grocery store. Did you have them prior to this, or did you have to go get the garbage bags?
I had them.
Okay. And I want to take you a little bit back a little bit. You talked about your trip to Vermont. You said that everything's pretty good and it was pretty cool, right? Did you guys make any stops or do sightseeing or anything like that on your way in here?
I feel like I did, but I can't. I don't know if I can answer that right now. I have a hard time focusing. times like we go back and forth. She's like, well, today we like she would say like, oh, like, yeah, I want to get on all day, you know, just whatever.
Yeah. So what do you think? How do you think this all happened? I mean, how do you feel like, you know, it happened? What do you think happened? What do you think caused this?
I remember sitting there, just trying to like, it was raining. I remember just watching it rain. It was like, I was on vacation and I was just trying to enjoy myself and stay out of the rain. I think I just kept trying to like relax, and she just kept trying to unfurl my piece. And then it was just like, I just felt this weight come over me. So yeah, it was like,
What did that make you feel like you talked about before, like you felt like a warm sensation in your body?
yeah, like it's loss of focus, rage.
Were you feeling angry, or were you feeling sad, or how were you feeling?
I felt pushed, fed up.
He says he felt awesome focus and rage, and he felt pushed.
It was like, I swear it felt like almost like 35 seconds. And it was just quiet. I'm sorry.
That's okay. What were you feeling after?
Disgusting.
In what way?
I'm disgusted with myself.
So you're feeling disgusted with yourself? Like in disbelief for what happened?
I still am.
He feels disgusted with himself after. No death penalty in Vermont.
Anything else? I don't think so. Anything that you want to share or questions for us before we wrap up here?
Nothing that comes to mind. Anything can happen. Do you have a
Yeah.
Can you leave me?
I can try.
Sounds like you have a question.
No, I don't. I can try to kind of explain the process from here. But before we get there, I guess I just say, like, I appreciate the honesty today. You know, I hope you feel that we treated you okay today. Yeah. It's, you know, our job isn't to judge or make judgment on anyone. We're fact finders and we're trying to piece this together. So we appreciate your honesty. And so this last piece of paper I have is just a sworn statement form. Can you just spell your last name for me? Your date of birth? Which makes you happy? 20, 41, you'll be 42 this year. What's your legal address, your residential address?
I get mail at a nice place.
Do you live there? Or not really?
I kind of just bounce around.
Alright.
Almost. We'll be caught up here in just a couple minutes.
14? recorded statement to Detective Sergeant James Oris of the Vermont State Police of my own free will without any threats or promises made to me. I am aware that it is a crime, a violation of Title 13 DSA 1754, to give false information to a police officer implicating another person or to deflect an investigation from the person or another person. The taped recorded statement is true and accurate to the best of my knowledge, belief, and ability. It's attached to and incorporated into that statement. Does that make sense? We're just asking that you swear that you told us the truth today. So feel free to read that. If you have any questions, let me know. If you agree, I'll have you sign where it said admin and date right underneath it.
What is the next name?
Yep. So, in terms of process, where we go from here is we have to get in contact with the state's attorney's office and let them know, we've been in contact with them, but let them know where we're at. And ultimately, we will reach out, if the state's attorney agrees, reach out to a judge and see if they think you should go to jail tonight and have a court hearing tomorrow, if there should be bail, if there should be conditions of release. All of that is determined by a judge. It's not something that we determine. We just are we provide the information and they tell us what we should do, and then most likely you'll have a court appearance tomorrow at some point. I think in Chittenden it might be in the afternoon, by 1 p.m., but I'm not positive. So we should know a little bit more about where you're going tonight in a little while. But obviously with the information that you provided, and we appreciate it, and the information that we've learned throughout the investigation, we have located Emily and she's deceased, so that we have to deal with that. Make sense? Any questions on that? Yeah.
I'm finally done with the recording.
Need anything right now? Okay, we can do that. It is now 9:58 p.m. With that.
Why don't we take our morning break now? Take a 15-minute break.
All right, we were about 15 minutes behind, so we'll be about 2 minutes behind once we skip this break. So let me do that now. Okay, there we go. All right, we have skipped the morning break. So now we're like a minute behind right here. Mrs. Ari brought me hot chocolate, and it is scalding. It is like, I think it's boiling. There's no reason for hot chocolate to be this hot, I think. I'm pretty sure I'm going to wear it before the day is over. But one of the problems about these recordings, they're not as bad as we hear. We're hearing it as it is... we're hearing it as it's played in court. So we get the noise from the potato recording in addition to the noise from court. And so you have a recording that's made in a room that was not built by audio engineers. Okay, first of all, jails, police stations, they're built by the lowest bidder. They're built with cheap materials, strong, sturdy materials, durable. It's mostly like cinder block walls and things like that. It's terrible for audio. So it's recorded there, and then it's played in a room that's also not optimized for audio, which is a courthouse, also built by the lowest bidder. And the combination of the two gives us what we have here. So it's probably the worst way to hear a recording. The jury probably got a better experience than we did, maybe got a little bit more out of it than we did. But either way, we're here and ready. So we got most of it. I think those are footsteps we're hearing. Thump, 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 thump.
Please be seated. Jury is all present and accounted for. We'll proceed after our morning break. Ms. Joy.
Thank you, Judge. Detective Sergeant Voris, what is the approximate total time that you spoke to Mr. Ferlazzo on the 19th?
I believe it was about 3 hours.
Yes.
And at the end of the audio that we just heard, it appeared that you asked Mr. Ferlazzo if he was willing to sign a sworn statement form.
Yes, ma'am.
And showing you which one marked as states 129. Is that the form you were going over with him?
Yes, ma'am.
Move to admit states 129.
Any objection?
No objection, thank you.
Exhibit 129, states 129 is admitted without objection.
Is this the form that I just showed you?
Yes.
And so in the audio, in the down the right corner there, is that where Mr. Ferlazzo signed?
Yes.
And when you asked him if he was willing to sign this, did he make any indications that what he told you wasn't truthful?
No, he did not.
Before moving on, the individual that you spoke with and is on the video with you, is he in the courtroom today?
Yes, he is.
Identified as Joseph Ferlazzo?
Yes, he's at the table, blue shirt, black tie.
Thank you. Judge, the state would ask that the record reflect Mr. Ferlazzo has been identified.
So reflected.
Have you interviewed individuals related to homicide cases prior to this one?
Yes.
Do you know how many approximately you were the case officer on?
At that time, I believe it was around 10, maybe, approximately.
And have you done others since?
Yes, since then, I've been assisted or been the lead on about 50 homicide cases throughout Vermont. I would say the lead on 15 of them.
Okay.
Wow.
And in your experience, is it common for people to appear tired or stressed during those interviews?
Yes.
Have people declined to speak with you during those interviews?
Yes, they have.
Have people told you that they don't feel comfortable speaking with you?
Yes.
Or that they aren't in the right state of mind to provide an accurate statement?
Maybe not in those exact words, but people have declined to speak with me for a variety of reasons.
Okay. Did Mr. Ferlazzo ever make any such statements during the time you spoke to him?
Never.
He did make a few statements about his mind not being right. Did that concern you in a way that made you question his ability to give a statement?
It didn't concern me from my standpoint because Mr. Ferlazzo was articulate. He was responsive to my questions. He said he wanted to talk like very early on. There was no concern about his ability to interact and converse with me.
Okay. And after you concluded the interview with him or with anybody, what's the sort of next steps you take in an investigation?
So I call it like check and verify. So when someone tells us something, we try to prove it right or prove it accurate and see if there's other evidence that supports what we're being told.
Actually, before we move on to that, I'm going to show you what's been marked as States 13. You recognize this?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell the jury what that is?
This is a sketch that Mr. Ferlazzo drew during our interview.
Okay. Is that a fair and accurate depiction of what he drew?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. State would move for State 13.
Any objection?
Any objection?
Oh, I'm sorry. No objection.
States 13 is admitted without objection.
And is this that sketch?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a little bit small, but can you kind of describe to the jury what it is?
So it's the sketch during the interview when Seth and I, or Detective Sergeant Richardson and I,
that's the bus.
We're talking about the layout of the camper van with Mr. Ferlazzo. He drew the sketch. It's kind of maybe appears upside down on the screen, but the bed is at the top. And then he depicted a couch, a closet, the bathroom, and he depicted the location where Emily currently was at the time of the interview.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the check and verify, is that what you called it?
Yes.
Okay, so in this case, did you, after you interviewed Mr. Ferlazzo, did you work to confirm or deny things that he'd made in his statement?
Yes.
Statements that he'd made. And
I would expect a tattoo artist to have better artwork than that. During the course
of your investigation, were you able to verify any of the statements that he made?
Yes, we were.
And specifically starting with the location of the incident, were you able to confirm?
Yes. We spoke with his sister, Nikki, and she provided information that was consistent with what Joe provided us. Emily's geolocation data was consistent with being at Bolton Friday evening.
And he told you that the homicide had occurred while Emily was in bed. Were you able to verify that?
Yes.
Okay, and how were you able to verify that?
The physical evidence is consistent with that. You know, the pillow from the bed sheets, the bed itself.
And what about where he shot her on her body?
Yes, that was confirmed during autopsy.
Okay. And he made statements about firearms located in the van.
Yes.
Were you able to verify that?
Yes, there were firearms located in the van.
Okay. How many firearms were located in the van?
I believe it was 2 handguns and 3 long guns.
A shotgun and 2 rifles, I think it was.
Describe what a long gun is.
Like a rifle. I think there was like a short-barreled rifle, a shotgun, and another rifle, and then 2 handguns.
Okay. Did he tell you during your interview that Emily owned any of those guns?
No, he did not.
Did he tell you that Emily had a gun?
No, he did not.
Did he tell you that Emily slept with a gun under her pillow?
No, he did not.
Did he tell you that Emily possessed or used a gun at any point?
No, he did not.
May we approach?
Yes.
You're destroying our defense. Can we interrupt this slaughter? All those questions that the prosecutor just asked are things that the defendant is now claiming as weeks after his recorded statement to the police and after speaking with lawyers. He remembers that in fact it did not happen the way he told them in the interview room. Instead, he was just trying to go to bed. And as always, he already had his Glock in his hand as he was, climbing into bed because, who can sleep without their Glock in their hand? I mean, I understand that part. Climbing over Emily, who was already asleep in bed, Emily woke up and attacked him as he was climbing over her, kicked him in the groin, punched him in the face, said something to the effect that made him, that she's like, that's it, I'm ending it type thing, and reached for her gun under her pillow because she also can't sleep without a gun in her hand. And he, having done nothing to instigate this, and just being the victim in this case, was fortunate enough to see her reach for the gun first and fired 2 shots in self-defense. The story does differ quite a bit from what he told the police, but that's now his story, and he's sticking to it. But if you find it hard to believe, you might be sitting with the jurors on this one. It does seem a bit of a stretch, especially when you look at what he did afterwards. He will be testifying, yes, he will.
And Judge, actually, I'm going to start with a stipulation.
Thank you, Debbie. Wonderful to have you here. Congratulations on 21 months.
Okay.
Ooh, stipulation.
Did you confirm where Mr. Ferlazzo was the following morning?
Yes.
Where did you confirm that he was?
We obtained video of him out to breakfast at Maxie's in Waterbury, Vermont.
Okay. Judge, if the court could read stipulation states number 117.
All right, there's no objection to the admission of one.
No objection, Judge.
Okay, stipulation number 2. Members of the jury, the state and defendant Joseph Ferlazzo have agreed that you may find certain facts. This is called a stipulation. A member of the Vermont State Police collected surveillance video and a purchase receipt from Maxie's restaurant in Waterbury, Vermont from the morning of October 16, 2021. That surveillance video and a copy of the receipt was added to the case file and reviewed by Detective James Oris. The authenticity of the surveillance video and purchase receipt is not being challenged. Chain of custody of the surveillance video and purchase receipt is also not being challenged. As with any evidence in this case, in this trial,
check your resolution.
You must decide what weight you will give this stipulation.
Or refresh your screen. I think it's on your end, Sandra.
I'm going to show you what has been marked as states 14 and 15. Recognize these?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell the jury what they are?
15 is the receipt from Maxie's from October 16th, and 14 is a screenshot from the video from Maxie's.
State would move to admit states 14 and 15.
Any objections?
No objection.
14 and 15 are admitted without objection.
Detective Sergeant Oris, is this the screenshot from the surveillance?
Yes.
And can you just tell the jury sort of what they're looking at here?
This is inside Maxie's restaurant in Waterbury, and Mr. Ferlazzo is in the kind of in the middle, maybe upper left side of the screen near the door.
Okay. And is this the receipt from the breakfast that morning?
Yes.
Were you able to confirm where Mr. Ferlazzo went Saturday night with his sister?
Yes.
Where was that?
The Twigs restaurant in St. Albans, Vermont.
Judge, the state would ask the court to read stipulation number 3, states 118.
Any objection?
No, Judge.
States 118 is admitted. Or I'll read stipulation number 3. Members of the jury, the state and defendant, Joseph Ferlazzo, have agreed that you may find certain facts. Spell the stipulation. A member of the Vermont State Police collected surveillance video from Twig's restaurant in St. Albans, Vermont from the evening of October 16, 2021. That surveillance video was added to the case file and reviewed by Detective James Oris. The authenticity of the surveillance video is not being challenged. Chain of custody of the surveillance video is also not being challenged. As with any evidence in this trial, you must decide what weight you will give this stipulation. State 118 is in.
Did you provide still shots from, surveillance videos from inside of Twigs?
Yes.
And did we have 2 different angles of that?
Yes.
Have you reviewed them prior to your testimony today?
Yes, I have.
Okay. The state would move to admit states 16 and 17.
No objection.
States 16 and 17 are admitted without objection.
Does that clip just show Mr. Ferlazzo in Twigs?
Yes.
I'm doing what I can to get that quiet, but it really shaves off a lot of the audio
Also
profile.
Inside of Twigs?
Yes, it is.
Were you able to, did you ever locate Emily's stuff that Mr. Ferlazzo indicated he'd thrown away?
We did not.
Okay, and that was her phone and her wallet?
And her glasses, yes.
Glasses. And did members of VSP attempt to find these items?
Yes, we did. We were unsuccessful.
And you were looking, how long after he allegedly threw these things out were you looking for them?
So we had several detectives and troopers that were assisting in the investigation starting, on the 19th, which were several days after this all occurred.
Right, okay. Were you able to confirm whether or not he gave his sister a tattoo?
Yes, we did confirm that happened.
Okay.
So he gave his sister a tattoo, went and hung out with Emily's parents.
And at some point during
after he killed
the
Emily.
interview, were investigators able to locate Emily's body?
Yes.
And was she located where Mr. Ferlazzo said she would be?
Yes, she was in the bathroom area of the camper van.
Was her body in the condition that Mr. Ferlazzo said it would be?
Yes, it was.
Did you locate the saw that Mr. Ferlazzo said he used?
Members of the crime scene search team located it in the camper van in the area where he said it was, behind the driver's seat.
Was there anything you learned after the investigation that Mr. Ferlazzo did not tell you during the interview?
Yes.
What was that?
I learned after Emily's autopsy that she also sustained stab wounds.
Okay. During your investigation, were you able to determine how tall Mr. Ferlazzo is?
Yes.
And how much he weighed?
Yes.
And what was that?
I determined that through his DMV records.
And what is his height and what did he weigh?
It was 6 feet tall and approximately 200 pounds.
Okay. Did that seem consistent with your interactions with him?
Yes.
As part of the investigation, did you seek a warrant for call detail records for the phone number and physical phone belonging to Mr. Ferlazzo?
Yes, we had, there were separate search warrants for his phone number, a search warrant for Emily's phone number, and a search warrant for Joseph's physical cell phone.
Okay. And did you receive those records in return?
Yes, we received records for both phone numbers and for, the cell phone went to our technology unit.
Okay. Did you review the records?
So the call detail records, or the records associated with the cell phone carrier. So Joseph's phone number was 802. I think it was AT&T, and Emily's phone number started with 603 area code. Those carrier records I looked at briefly, but ultimately are analyzed by our technology unit. And then I did look at the data that came off of his phone myself.
Okay. Judge, stipulation number 4 states 119.
What is it, Sarah? What is it?
Any objection to 119?
No, thank you. No, Judge, no objection.
Stipulation number 4, members of the jury, the state and defendant Joseph Ferlazzo have agreed that you may find certain facts. This is called a stipulation. Vermont State Police searched a red Jeep Wrangler belonging to Joseph Ferlazzo pursuant to a search warrant on October 19th, 2021. During that search, an iPhone belonging to Joseph Ferlazzo was collected by Detective Sergeant Aaron McNeil. The iPhone was tagged as item quote, Jeep number 2, end of quote, / quote, item 14, end of quote, and delivered to the Vermont State Police Technology Investigation Unit, in parentheses, TIU, end of parentheses. The iPhone was in the same condition upon arrival at the TIU as it was when collected from the Jeep during the search on October 19th, 2021. An extraction was done of Joseph Ferlazzo's iPhone, in parentheses, AKA, quote, item 14, end of quote, and a paragraph by Detective Eric Jollymore and added to the case file. That extraction was done in accordance with his training, and the authenticity of that extraction is not being challenged. Chain of custody of the iPhone belonging to Mr. Ferlazzo is not being challenged. As with any evidence in this trial, you must decide what weight you will give this stipulation. Page 119.
So after the technology unit extracts that data and sends that portable case to you, how does that portable case look from your end?
So I received the case from the technology unit. We call it a portable case. It's on, in this circumstance, it was on a hard drive, like a portable hard drive. And I plug it into the computer. I can open the program on my desktop, and then I can review the data that was on the device.
Okay. And is that program pretty user-friendly?
Extremely user-friendly, yes.
Is there any training provided in order to use it?
There's no training required to read a portable case. I have taken training to create portable cases and to extract cell phones myself. I didn't do that in this case, but the portable case it's very user-friendly.
Okay. So were you able to review any text messages from Mr. Ferlazzo's phone to Emily's phone between the time she was killed and the time she was located?
Yes.
Were there any messages sent from Emily's phone to Joseph's phone during that time period?
No, all the messages were sent from Joseph's phone to Emily.
That's crazy.
I'm going to show you what's from Marcus Stacy to the 18th.
So he was texting her knowing that he had just killed her.
4 pages. Do you recognize this?
This is to perpetuate the story that she ran away and was sort of leaving.
Yes, I do.
And can you tell the jury what this is?
These are the messages that were observed, from Joseph's phone within that portable case that were sent to Emily's phone number.
State seeks to admit.
Yeah, consciousness of guilt is way high on this one.
18 is admitted without objection.
She's talking. I'm going home to get home.
Detective Sergeant Oris, can you just read the messages to the jury and the date and time they were sent?
Yes. October 16th, 2021 at 1:09:58 p.m. Message sent, babe. On October 16th, 2021 at 1:20:49 p.m. Message sent, what are you doing? Talk to me, please. On October 16th, 2021 at 1:52:47 p.m. the message was sent that read, where are you, lovey? I wanted to ride with you today. On October 16th, 2021, at 2:02:18 p.m., the message was sent that read, I'm at the Langs, call me. On October 16th, 2021, at 2:02:47 p.m., message sent, the tranny on the bus is smoking with a emoji. On October 16th, 2021, at 2:57:18 p.m., message was sent, whatever, I'm going to spend time with Nikki while I can, call me. On October 16th, 2021, at 8:09:48 p.m., WTF, babe. On October 17th, 2021, at 8:45:24 a.m., message read, good morning, Bubby. I miss you. Please call me. Nikki just messaged me. You want to meet up in Burlington for some snacks and whatnot. On October 17th, 2021 at 2:03:02 p.m., the message read, hello, question mark, question mark. On October 17th, 2021 at 8 p.m., the message was sent that read, please M, pick up. On October 17th, 2021 at 8:12 p.m., message 2 emojis were sent. On October 18th, 2021 at 12:05:48 a.m., the message read, "This is far enough. Get your ass home. I gotta go back to NH. Are you coming back?" On October 18th, 2021 at 12:05:48 a.m., I believe that's the same message I just read. On October 18th, 2021 at 1:05:36 a.m., random question, where is the extension cord? I want to plug the fan in. October 18th, 2021 at 9:06:19 a.m., good morning, baby, with an emoji. On October 18th, 2021 at 10:25:51 a.m., you're an asshole. I don't deserve this shit.
Is that all of the messages that were sent?
I believe so, yes.
Ms. Jantz, any cross?
Yes, thank you, Judge. Morning, Detective Sergeant Oris.
Good morning.
On October 19th, the day Mr. Ferlazzo was interrogated by you and Detective Richardson, Spencer Lemons had already contacted the police through the 911 call and relayed to the police information that he had saying that Mr. Ferlazzo admitted to killing Emily. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And on October 19th, police were actively looking for Mr. Ferlazzo, correct?
Yes.
And Amy Nolan, who was at that time a member of the Vermont State Police, by happenstance encountered him in St. Albans and Maple Fields. Is that also correct?
Yes.
And she drove him in her truck back to the St. Albans barracks of Vermont State Police, correct?
Yes.
From the time that he arrived at the Vermont State Police barracks in St. Albans, he was never outside the presence of someone from law enforcement, correct?
I believe there were times where he was alone, like in the interview room, by himself. At points during the interaction.
Was he under observation through a two-way mirror at times when he was alone in the interview room?
That room doesn't have a two-way mirror, no.
Does not?
No, it does not.
Okay. Okay. At any point, was he free to leave?
He was probably not free to leave.
So we can agree that he was in custody during the time he was at the Vermont State Police barracks.
So yes, smile when he said that.
Okay, thank you. So how long did you say you have been with the Vermont State Police?
Since January of 2014.
And prior to that, your law enforcement experience was what?
I have no prior law enforcement experience.
Okay. You did graduate from the Vermont Police Academy, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And at the academy, you were told and given instructions on how to interrogate/interview a suspect, correct?
There was a class on interviews and interrogations, yes.
And you learned through your instruction and subsequently, I'm assuming through experience, what is necessary in order for a confession to be considered voluntary and constitutional, correct?
I don't recall specifically the conversation around that, but I'm sure it may have been part of it. I just don't recall.
Well, you know that you can't make physical threats to get a person to confess, don't you?
Of course.
And you know that you can't even make threats of harsh penalties to get them to confess, right?
Correct.
And you can't make any promises of leniency, can you, to get them to confess?
Nope.
And the form that he signed indicated that he hadn't been coerced or threats made against him, correct?
I believe that's what it says, yes.
You also know that if someone is highly intoxicated, what they say may not be rational or valid, correct?
Depends on the situation, but that's possible.
It's possible. Or if someone is having a mental health crisis, that also may make the statements they are giving you not admissible because not rational, correct?
Not admissible? Are you asking if it's not admissible?
I'll withdraw that question and rephrase it.
Okay.
In order for someone's statements to be considered voluntary, they have to be able to think rationally. Isn't that correct?
That sounds right. I don't know the legal standard sitting here. Yeah, sounds about right.
Sounds right. So some things that might interfere with a person's ability to be rational are mental health issues, right?
Potentially.
Yes, yes, right?
No, I said potentially.
Potentially, depending on what?
I think you can have mental health issues and be rational.
Okay, so what you're distinguishing is the severity of the mental health issue at the time of the interrogations. Am I hearing you correctly?
No.
Okay, then tell me what you mean.
I just answered your question. If you asked if you could have mental health issues and be rational, and that I agree.
Okay, that's all I wanted to hear. And if someone had a physical condition that prevented them from being rational at the time of the interrogation, that also could be a reason why their statement might not be voluntary. Isn't that correct?
A physical condition?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Okay. So, for example, I'll give you some examples. If someone is severely injured and is unable to speak, to give a statement coherently, that would be a situation you would consider as not voluntary, wouldn't you?
Could the parties approach?
Yes.
The judge called a sidebar? And now the sound of a dentist drill. This audio is terrible today. This is pretty much what we've seen from the defendant throughout this trial. That's about as far up as his head goes. He looks down, keeps that position. Not a lot of emotion or movement or glancing around the courtroom.
So, Mr. Ferlazzo, Joseph, came into the barracks and interacted with a couple of people before you and Detective Richardson came into the room to talk to him, correct?
Yes.
He was given coffee or a drink of water, correct?
Yes.
He was given a donut, I think, correct?
Yes.
And somebody said they would get him a sandwich. Is that also correct?
Yes.
Do you know that he said that he was really tired?
I know that now, yes.
Did you know that then?
I did not.
One of the first things he asked you was, what time is it, what day is it, correct?
That was not me.
You're right. I'm sorry, I withdraw that. He did say to you, however, I haven't eaten much and I've been up for days, correct?
I believe at some point he said that, yes.
I have a timestamp of 2:47 p.m., which would have been about 5 or 10 minutes into the interview with you.
Sounds about
Sounds right?
Yes, ma'am.
So he told you he was tired. He'd been, yes?
He said he'd been up for days.
And then at 3:12, he said, I'm really tired. Do you recall him saying that?
I recall him talking about needing to sleep or being up for days and maybe being tired, yes.
And then immediately following that, he said, I don't know what day it is. This thing is sort of like not really able to have a clear thought, or I just feel like you're stuck in a hole. Do you remember him saying that?
I remember I had asked him what he did on Sunday, and he couldn't recall, and that's when he described feeling like he was stuck in a hole. Yes.
And that he didn't have a clear thought. Do you recall that?
I don't recall that specifically.
I can show it to you if that would help.
It would refresh my memory, or if I could look at the transcripts, that would be great.
What are you showing?
Yes, while he does that, Daniel Perry, we are going to spoil that one here for you. We're not following that trial. Had a bit of a hung jury mistrial situation. Came back as a not guilty.
I'll just take your testimony that you don't remember precisely him saying at that point that he didn't have a clear thought. Is that right? You don't have a clear recollection of that?
I just don't recall the exact words, and so that's my testimony.
Okay, but something to that effect. You do recall that he said, I'm not thinking clearly, regardless of whether you remember the...
I don't recall him saying, I'm not thinking clearly. I recall him saying, like talking about his mind, yes.
And what about his mind? Recall him saying?
Just generally, he was having some trouble remembering some things, and I think at one point he said he was trying to blank page it, I took that to trying to forget about what happened.
Mm-hmm. Anybody could push me to do that?
I do.
Do you remember him saying, my mind is so broken, I can't think straight?
I recall seeing it, reviewing the interview. I'm not sure if I was in the room at that point. I just don't recall, but I recall seeing that, yes.
That he said that, whether it was to you or to another law enforcement?
Yes.
Do you remember him saying, I'm not okay?
I do.
And in response to him saying, making various statements about him not thinking clearly, you didn't ask him why he wasn't thinking clearly, did you?
There were times in the interview where I asked what that meant. When he spoke about falling into a hole, I think my response was, what does that mean? So there were times where I did question what that meant.
Okay. And you didn't stop the interview, did you?
I did not.
And you didn't think that his statements to the effect that he wasn't thinking clearly was enough to stop the interview, did you?
I did not.
And when he said early on, I haven't slept for days, you didn't ask him if he needed to sleep before you spoke to him, did you?
I did not ask him if he wanted to sleep before we spoke.
And And then at the end of the roughly 2-hour initial part of the interview that we saw, he put the blanket around himself and lay down on the floor. Isn't that correct?
Yes, he did.
And slept for or we don't know whether he was actually sleeping, but he was on the floor for 40 minutes with the blanket wrapped around him. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And then he was moved to a holding cell. Is that right?
Yes.
And he was in that holding cell from approximately, I think you testified, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Is that also correct?
Yes.
And then you and Sergeant Richardson went to the holding cell to ask him more questions.
Yes, there was some interaction with Mr. Ferlazzo between 6 and 9 p.m., but around 9:15 we asked more questions.
He was sleeping, wasn't he, when you arrived at the cell?
I don't know if he was sleeping.
Was he lying down?
He was lying down.
Did he have the blanket over himself?
He did.
We all just heard the audio of your interview with him at about 9:17 or something like that?
Around that time, yes, ma'am.
Sounded very sleepy, didn't he?
I would say he sounded like Mr. Ferlazzo. I don't think he sounded sleepy.
He sounded like he always
Your
sounds.
only interaction with him was the original interview. I'll withdraw the question. He reiterated to you something he told you early on, that at the time of the alleged shooting, a wave came over him. Isn't that right?
He did reiterate that, yes.
And he had originally told you he had a feeling of warmth come over him. Isn't that right?
Yes, he also used the word rage.
Yes, he did. He also said loss of focus, didn't he?
Yes.
That's okay. That's okay. We found the page, but I'm not going to go back. I have nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you.
No way back, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Does the court want to start the next witness?
If you have a witness available, why don't we start?
Who's next?
Seth.
Seth.
All right. Next witness.
Right hand, please. Solemnly affirm that the evidence you shall give relative to the cause now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth as contains and penalties. Yes.
Next trial we're going to follow is the trial of the guy who built the audio system in this courtroom. And I believe it's a capital punishment case.
Good afternoon. Good morning. Can you state your name and spell your last name, please?
Seth Richardson, R-I-C-H-A-R-D-S-O-N.
Okay. And how are you employed?
Currently employed by the Vermont State Police.
Okay. The acoustics in here are not great, so try to keep your voice up so they can hear you in the back. Currently employed by the Vermont State Police?
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you worked for the Vermont State Police?
13 years.
Were you employed by them in October of 2021?
Yes, I was.
And at some point, did you become involved in an investigation related to Emily Ferlazzo?
Yes.
When did you become involved?
It was on the morning of the 19th.
And in what capacity did you become involved?
So I'm a detective sergeant assigned to the major crime unit. My commanding officer had contacted me and asked me to respond.
Okay. When the major crimes unit is needed, are all of the members of the major crimes unit sort of brought in?
Generally, yes.
Okay. And so where did you travel from?
My residence in Rutland, Vermont.
Okay. Upon arrival at the St. Albans Barracks, what tasks were you given related to this investigation?
So I was paired with Detective Sergeant Sam Truex, who is since retired, we were asked to go to the Lang's residence, inquire if Jason Lang would participate in the interview, and if so, during that interview, if we could obtain consent to search his property.
Okay. And did you search the property?
Yes.
Did you locate Emily on the property?
No.
And did you return to the barracks?
Yes.
After that? And so what tasks were you next given related to the investigation?
So shortly after I returned to the barracks, I had learned that Joseph had come to the barracks, or was brought to the barracks, and that would be assisting Detective Sergeant James Oris with interviewing Joseph.
Okay. What information did you have about the case prior to going into the interview?
Really not much. That it was a missing person complaint. It was somewhat suspicious, and at that point I don't remember if the RV was seized or was in the process of being seized.
Okay. What was your role during the interview?
Just a co-interviewer, I guess a second interviewer in the room.
Okay, so the jury has seen the video. Is it you in the room with Detective Sergeant Boris?
Yes.
Okay. And were you present when Detective Sergeant Boris read Mr. Ferlazzo his Miranda rights?
Yes, I was.
Miranda warnings. And so did you witness him waive those rights?
Yes, I did.
Did he have any questions or concerns about those warnings?
No.
Did he make any statements about wanting to talk to you?
Joseph was eager to talk to us. Joseph said he was there to talk to us. He told James that essentially didn't need to beat around the bush.
Okay. And did you, we've heard obviously the whole interview, so did you have concerns initially in speaking with Mr. Ferlazzo about his ability to speak with you?
No.
Okay. Was there ever a time in the times that he was spoken to where it wasn't recorded?
No.
Did you ever feel like he wasn't responding to the questions appropriately?
No.
Did he ever say anything that gave you the impression he didn't want to engage with you?
No.
Did you ask Mr. Ferlazzo if he was willing to provide a buccal swab of his DNA?
Yes, I did.
And did he agree to that?
Yes, he did.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as States 128. Do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell the jury what it is?
This is a Vermont State Police consent to search form. The form here, the biological is checked off with corresponding DNA and photos of Joseph Ferlazzo. That's my signature as a witness, and that's Joseph's signature on the sign line.
Move to admit States 128.
Any objection, Ms. Johnson? 128 is admitted without objection.
Showing States 128. Is this the form that you went over with Mr. Ferlazzo?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and is that his signature down in the lower right-hand corner?
Yes.
Okay, and did he have any concerns about signing this form?
No.
After completing the initial interview, did you bring Mr. Ferlazzo outside for a cigarette break?
Yes, I did.
And was that interaction recorded?
Yes, James was recording the recording us.
Okay. And did you ask him any questions about Emily during that time?
No.
Have you listened to that recording in preparation for today's testimony?
I have.
Okay. The state has marked it as Exhibit 130. Judge, we would ask to admit it as evidence.
Objection.
Okay, 130 is admitted without objection.
They have made an arrest in the CEO murder in a healthcare situation. Person was taken to custody in Pennsylvania. Altoona, PA. This is the cigarette break recording.
You actually falling asleep in there? Not really.
I think a good Foley artist could pull this off as tornado sound effects.
It's 8 o'clock.
hearing someone smoke in a tornado, apparently. Okay, he's done smoking. He's going to go back inside. That should be the end of the recording.
It is 8:15. That was we provided a cigarette to Joe, Detective Sergeant Richardson, and Detective Sergeant Oris.
Parts of that are difficult to hear.
Parts?
Can you give just a quick summary
Like from
of sort of
the start
what
to the
was
end,
discussed?
that part.
Yeah, so essentially, Joe and I were having a conversation about when my workday started, when I was scheduled to be finished my shift, apologized to me. Joe was wearing a sweatshirt that I also have. We talked about that, the weather, and that's really it.
Okay. Your Honor, the state would seek to admit 131, which is the transcript of that conversation. No objection.
It's 131 is admitted without objection.
So after this conversation, did he go back to the holding cell?
Yes.
And did you eventually approach him again for additional questions?
Yes.
The jury has heard that recording. It appears that you asked most of the questions during that interaction.
Yes.
What was the primary purpose of that later interview?
To try to discern where Emily's belongings were. I think there was a question about. I think there was a question about some shoes, glasses, cell phone. We were trying to figure out where that stuff was.
Okay. And he had stated to you that he believed they were in he'd thrown them out in a market basket, grocery bag?
Yes.
Is that right? And you said in the beginning, one of your first tasks was to go to the Langs to search that property, and you didn't locate Emily. Where was Emily ultimately located?
Inside the RV, her van.
Okay, and was that on the Lang's property?
At one point it was, yes.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have.
You have some questions, Ms. Johnson?
I do, Your Honor.
Why don't we take them up at one? We'll take our lunch break. Again, please don't discuss the case with anyone. Don't try and find out any information about the case from any outside source. See you at 1 o'clock to resume.
So the jury gets a break on their ears as the judge calls for lunchtime. It is 12 o'clock straight up. Straight up. So the judge is quite prompt with his food, although late start today. I was late as well though, so I can't blame him on that part. Defense has objected to all of the evidence that's come in out of that includes statements made by their client, and all of it has been overruled. And so we have, as we go to lunch here, we have a lot of bad things said by the defendant about what the defendant did to the victim that the jury has heard all of, or at least has heard recordings that purport to contain that. Hopefully they can understand what the recording said. The audio has been terrible. Terrible audio. What can the defense argue about? Well, defense is going to argue this is self-defense. Self-defense is a defense you have to assert. You can't just say it's self-defense. You have to prove it. He actually has to take the stand, which means he will be questioned directly by his attorney, and he will be cross-examined by the state. And in that in the initial questioning, he's going to lay out the case that this was actually a case of self-defense, that he was defending himself. It was either her or me, and I just beat her to the gun. Basically, she was going to kill me, and I shot her first. Is what he's going to say. How he says that, the details he remembers are going to be quite telling. And if his story can stay together, he's also got to sort of account for all the lies he told the police, if we are to believe his alibi, his self-defense alibi. So that's going to be quite the issue. But once he asserts that defense, then the state has to prove that it was not self-defense. The burden switches to them. They have to prove it was not self-defense. The fact that she was lying in bed when she was executed might be the key evidence in that part. Let's see. I think that's it. We're gonna take a lunch break. It seems like we just got here because I was late, but we're gonna take a lunch break. They're gonna be back. What time did they say? 1? Is it a 1 hour lunch break? Is anybody willing to tell me? This might be Mathis here. Just 1 second.
Call from Fluff Life.
Nope. Hey, this is RA. I missed the name. One more time. Who is this?
Fluff Life.
It's clipping a little bit. Say it slowly.
Fluff Life.
Okay, I still can't get it. I'm sorry. How are you doing? Sloth Life.
It is Sloth Life, Angela.
There you go. You have to say it with my accent.
No, I can't. Sorry.
It's the Scottish brogue that got me. I was expecting German, and I got Scottish instead. So
you got a Scot.
How are you doing, Sloth Life?
I'm doing great, thank you, and I'm sorry for interrupting your show, but I just wanted to phone in and let you know that 2 parts of your Scottish treats are waiting to be collected at the post office, and the 3rd part, they say, will be delivered between the 11th and the 16th, but I don't have a confirmed date for that yet. But since you're not feeling well today, I don't imagine you feel like running to the post office, so just to let you know that they're there.
I actually went Saturday after the post office had closed. I missed it by 13 minutes on Saturday, and I saw I had 2 packages waiting for me, but I can't get them. I have to wait. And fun law. It's against the law in the United States for the post office to hand mail over the counter. But my post office, nothing fits in my post office box because the box is like this big, right? It's tiny. So nothing that's sent to me, even letters, barely fit. So I have to get a little paper out of there, and then I go in the post office, and then they hand me the mail over the counter. Like there's a big sign that says it's a federal law. We cannot pass mail over the counter, and that's what they do every single time. So I have to go in there when they're open. I will pick it up. I'm excited.
Well, I hope you enjoy them.
Thank you. I'm guessing it's not a little haggis. Is that?
It's not a little haggis. We can't export live animals.
Yes. Okay. The haggis, a beautiful little creature, 3-legged, lives on the hills of Scotland. Tastes delicious.
It tastes delicious. I love a haggis pizza.
Mm-hmm. Better than pepperoni.
No, it's definitely. No, these are sweet treats. You have an American version of one of them, which I just found out and looked up, but I'm going to bet that the Scottish version is much nicer.
The Scottish version probably uses real sweets instead of artificial ones. I can't wait. Thank you very much, Sloth Life. I appreciate that.
No problem. And I hope you feel better soon. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. My head was ready for Mathis and German accent, and I could not get Sloth Life until I heard Scottish, and then boom, then it connected. And thank you for helping me understand. All right, we're going to take a lunch. Did somebody say when he's coming back? Let me scroll back. 1 p.m. That means we get about 45 minutes. 45 minutes, we're going to be back. We'll try haggis and milk. There's an idea, Greeners. There's an idea. Do you fry it first? Because you sort of do need to cook the haggis. Do you boil it? I'm usually not big into boiled milk. Yeah. Send some iron brew. She sent iron brew before. I tried it. It's interesting. The flavor is iron brew flavor. You can't describe it any other way. I'm out on the haggis talk. See you after lunch. All right. We're going to take a lunch as well. I'm going to run and probably get a little more hot chocolate to soothe my throat and maybe take something for my headache. And we're going to be back this afternoon because right now nothing is happening in court. We're all caught up. We're just staring at the fire alarm, hoping it goes off. If it does go off, I'm recording it, so you'll see that very moment. But until then, it's lunchtime. Drink hot lemon. I think I might do that. Might do like a hot lemon drink. Sounds really good right now with a little bit of honey, maybe. Lemon and honey. Right. I will make as soon as this one's over, I'm going to make a new live stream. Actually, I might be able to do it right now. Yeah, I can do it right now. Day 2, part 2. And we're going to be back about 12:50. How about that? All right. The new one is made. We'll portal you over, and we'll pick up this trial where it continues. It can't be much longer. We've got to have, I don't know, maybe the Emmys coming up soon, I'm thinking. It's got to be soon. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone to make their day just a little bit better. And please stay safe till we go live again after lunch in about 40 minutes. And I will portal you all to the new one so you guys continue talking amongst yourselves until we start again. It's a wonderful Monday, guys. Had a great weekend. The ballet was incredible. It was really, really good. I say I'm not huge on ballets. I didn't think I would be, but I was impressed. I was really impressed. So enjoy the Nutcracker Ballet if you get the chance. Appreciate it. And many thanks to our friends who gave us the tickets. That was incredibly sweet. We enjoyed it. All right. See you guys after lunch. Have a good one. Bye-bye.